Hello, how are you? This is Jilly Bling, and today's project is just adorable. Ooh, did this one stick shut? There it goes. There. And here. Oh, this one is for left-handed people. This is what not to do, where the flap goes the wrong way. So there's that one. And it kind of smushes closed and locks into place. Then this one using an old stamp set. Hello Spring. This one opens proper. And just chocolates in there. And this one I did the microbead technique that I did in the previous video, which is fun. It will make you not look at chocolate wrappers the same way. And you know, when I was doing this video, I mentioned I have all these samples from years ago and I forgot to show them. So at the end of this one, I'll go through and I'll just flip through the microbead project. But today is all about this. Then this one using the Petal Park stamp set in Punch Builder. And that one is really cute too. But just imagine handing these, and they feel good in your hand. Like handing these out to friends or having them just sit at their desk. They're really cute. So that's today's project. We'll be using mostly Excellent Eggs for the cutest little bunny ever. Isn't that sweet? And there's a die to cut it out. Petal Park, which is where these flowers came from. And then an old set I'm using just because it's so cute. And the dies, I love these dies. These are called Thoughtful Expressions. And they're nesting dies, and we'll be using both of them. So, right here, the navy and white, this shape, and then on the inside, right there with the window sheet, is this shape. Okay, let's get started. So we'll be doing the cutting and scoring, and I will tell you the sizes of the papers. And this is the one that I received from Anna, and I received it last year, and it is just as cute as can be. And she did a square and a circle for here, and that turned out really cute too. And the dies, these are for the Excellent Eggs. And there's a little bunny die. I'm going to do something fun with this sometime soon here. Paper if you want to stamp the flowers. Here are our pieces. And opaque faceted gems are used. Oh, do you notice how perfect that is? This is Pool Party, and these little gems are Pool Party. Those just great gems. That really brings it all together, the colors. This one I used the back side of the papers. This one, oh, did you notice that? This one has the little bunny on it. So this one, I used the bunny side, and then I flipped it over for that. And then, here I used the trees paper that has, conveniently, balmy blue flowers. This one I turned it over, and it has these little flowers, which is really cute, but they're not balmy blue. And I'm like, wait a minute. I used all the papers that don't have balmy blue on it, and I'm using a balmy blue ribbon. Anyhow, the gems pulled it all together. Okay. So, and here is her diagram, and I'll put a copy of this on my blog. And my blog is jillybling.com, and it has the paper cut sizes, and I'll go through them as we work today. But I'm going to reference this diagram right here because the gray areas are what we're going to need to cut out of the paper. That is 5 3/4 by 8 1/2. So I had to keep that handy. Here is the little bunny on page 27, and it's a bundle. I'll be doing more with this set, this bundle soon. The paper is Country Ink designer paper. I love this paper, but I love navy. Okay, scoreboard, let's get started. So all these pieces. And on one of the projects I did the micro beads, and you don't have to, you could just put in its place a piece of designer paper. So this one has a micro beads, and these other two just have a cut piece, micro beads, cut piece of designer paper. Okay, so here we are. Can you see the top? Yeah. Okay, so the paper is cut to 5 3/4 by 8 1/2, and with the 8 1/2 inch top of scoreboard, score at 1/2 inch, 1 1/2, 3 1/2, 4 1/2, and 6 1/2. Okay, so now this next part is a bit important. If you see my little arrow, I'm saying which way to turn the paper. And why it's important is because if you do it opposite, you still get the cute little box, but then you're opening left-handed, which for any left-handed person, they're like, oh my gosh, thank you. You made me a perfect little card. But everyone else, they want it right-handed. Therefore, let's turn it this way, is what my little arrow says. But let's just confirm. So if I turn the whole thing, the template this way, see how there's only one section down here, and this little 1/2 inch section is at the top? So now I know I have it in the right area. Okay, so now we're going to score at 1 inch, 3 3/4, 4 3/4. Okay, we're done. Okay, so now, where's that template again? Let's do, how about if we cut out the window? So the window is right here. And the window gets cut right here. Okay, so I'm going to cut that out. And what's convenient is this is 5 3/4, and I want to say the Big Shot. The machine, the plates are 6 inches. Perfect. Okay, so now it's cut out. And let's just make sure it's right. There's the 2 sections at the top, the 1 section at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to cut out all these areas in gray. So cut 3 chunks. 1, 2, 3. Now, from the top, cut down at 2 chunks. I should say two sections, and then cut at an angle. That score mark is a little light. Okay, so that's going to be discarded. Okay, so we have this done. Now we're going to cut out 2 sections. 1, 2, and, oh, am I doing this wrong? No, I'm doing it right. 1 section, and then diagonal. I always have to keep checking myself. Okay, so that's looking good. And at the bottom, we'll cut out this section. And this bottom one. So there's a whole bunch of other little cut lines on here that we'll do in just a minute. But after we do the cut lines, I found it's nice to kind of widen the bottom of the cut line, and I'll show you what I'm talking about there and why you might want to do that. You don't have to. But at this point, it's better just to establish all of the cut lines, get them on here. That one I did crooked. Okay, and then cut up here, these two. Okay, so I think we have all the cut lines done. So at this point, it's good to just fold the box. You know that? Oopsie, I'm doing it backwards. Because that way it's going to open. Okay, let's do it folded the other way. This way, you see the windows right here? So I have the flap going the right direction. Okay, got that established. Oh no, that was right. It was right the other way. So let's first do the box. Now my thing, turn around. Good thing paper folds 2 different directions. There we go. That's how it should be. So you open it this way. Whew. Those are going to stick together. This is the lid. Okay. So you know how I was talking about to kind of stretch out these cut lines? You know, first let's get the window in here. So the window sheet is going to go right here. I'm going to go kind of close to the window. And then along the edge. And as a paper crafter, are you ever wondering, like if I use liquid glue, I know it sticks, but what's it do under there? Today is the day we'll find out. Window sheet. Oh, I have one right here. Okay, so the window sheet and the designer paper are the same size. This piece here, and the window sheet. All 3 of them are, my little paper, DSP 1 7/8 by 2 5/8. And then this DSP here at the top is 7/8 of an inch by 1 7/8. And the label, since we're on a roll, which are these 2 papers here, 2 1/8 by 2 1/8, and the navy is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then just some scrap strips for stamping. I did them at 2 3/4 by 8 1/2. Okay, so if ever you wondered what's going on underneath my papers, that right there shows you. Okay, so this flap that I'm going to glue to right here, sometimes it's just a little bit big and you could see it through the window, so I'm just going to give it a little trim. Okay, and I mentioned kind of trimming where we already did the cut, and the reason I suggest that is when you put this together, this square little panel right here, it pretty perfectly matches up. But if you cut this at an angle, we know for sure it won't be seen. And I'll do the same one. And I'm going to do this with all of the pieces, the flaps I'm gluing. I'm going to do that little diagonal cut on them just to make sure it goes together really clean and crisp. I know on one of them I'll have a really good bad example where I could, because I know that I cut my little slit not so good. Okay, so that's stuck. Just to make sure it's going to be square. Okay, that's looking good. So now let's work on the bottom. So the bottom, this piece will fold in. And I know that I didn't cut it very square. And when I try to fold it in, it's kind of jamming up a little bit. So I'm going to cut these pieces just a little bit of an angle. I'm going to make a mess on the table, but it's going to be worth it. And it just makes it go together a little bit more smooth too. And because I know all these flaps are going to go together, I might as well just do all these. And you could tell by the pieces here, I'm not cutting much. And if you're a smarty and you could figure it out when you're doing all these cuts that are shown on the template, you do it. I tried to do it on one of them and I ended up cutting this, like the book cover flap at the beginning, and I didn't mean to do that. Also, that one's good. That one's fine. I'm not sure which one. One of them, I was trying to cut all the flaps in advance. Oh, it's hidden underneath this right here. But the flaps that this designer paper went on, they're cut at an angle. I'm like, oh my gosh, you can't even see the little border. But when I put the box together, it was fine. Okay, so let's get to working on the bottom. So I'll put this one in first, then that one, and that one, and then the top. So this gets glue everywhere. Everywhere. So here, if you didn't do the little angles, you might have a bit of this Misty Moonlight paper hanging out here over the edge. And it would just be a little bit, but this way we know for sure there's no paper hanging over the edge. And you could use any adhesive. There we go. We're getting there. Okay, so to do the lid, let's just check all these folds. And then I will, maybe not this one, I cut it crooked. Oops. I cut a little bit from here. Good thing it's going to be glued and stuck down. Right to that crease. Okay, so let's put these together. These little pieces will go in. Okay. Got it. I know the plan. Let's just make sure it closes before the glue gets stuck. Okay, stick, glue, stick. Okay. So all this will be discarded. I'm giving that little lid a minute to dry. Okay, so we went through all the sizes. So if you're going to use the bunny, if you can, have a bunny face showing on the top. This piece here, it gets so covered up you really don't see it. But see how there's two bunny pieces? Oh, and this ribbon, cute. Oh, and the bunny butt. This ribbon, well, we'll be doing that in just a minute. This is from the Hot Air Balloon in the mini catalog. Baker's Twine 3-color pack. Bunny butts, I'll link it in the video description. This is from Amazon. The bunny butts are kind of hard to attach because the little fibers in the bunny, they drink up the glue. And then they decide not to, I see a little bit of an edge right here. Then they decide not to stick. You know what? I don't know that it's worth. I'm just going to leave it. It's just a little bit of an edge that I'm seeing right there. I was going to try to trim that off, but I don't think it's worth it. Okay, let's decorate this box. So on the top will be bunny. Jude loves bunnies. Just saying. I love bunnies too. Oh, and there's the cutest words in this excellent egg. Where is that? Hello, Spring. There's no bunny like you. And I love the font. Thinking of you. It can be just for spring cartoon. Don't you just want to color all that in? Yeah. Ooh, this one with the shading. That'd be fun. Okay, so we have that part done. So now this gets a piece of, oh, should I try flipping it around? That's kind of cute. That goes together well. I'll try that. But I like those balmy blue flowers because it matches the ribbon. Well, right on there. And this one goes on the inside. And you could put whatever you want in here. I put chocolates because they're handy, because I did the microbead project. But anything you like would be cute in there. You could even put, like, give this to a cousin or something, or a loved one, and put dollar bills, like a roll-up of dollar bills in there. That would be well loved. There, now you don't have to eat any candy. You get just what you want. Okay, so now for decorating. I think we're done with this. So here's these pieces. Oh, that's cute. Let's stamp in Misty Moonlight. I like that there's no bunny like you. so these are going to be cut out. And here's a bunny. I'll add just a little bit of color. Did you notice on this bunny how the ears are a little bit pink, and then I use granite gray just for shadows on the bunny? So let's add some color. Bubble bath, lifter, granite light. So granite light, wherever there might be shadows, and it's very convenient. Stampin' Up! Tells me, here's where a shadow should be. Okay. And then bubble bath light for the nose and the ears. Then color lifter to kind of soften everything up, just so it looks like little shadows. There's no inside card to do either. Okay, so just a little bit of color. So this one, the bunny is at the bottom. Well, I guess it depends on where I stamped, huh? I do like that little ribbon, though. Okay, little double bow. Okay, so whenever I have these things, I always do a cut, and then it holds it in place. All tidy. Okay, so we'll put this together after it's on here. So this one I just did it flat with glue. How about we do this one with dimensionals? Host Code. If you don't have a demonstrator and you'd like anything, I'd love to be your demonstrator. And if you can, use that host code. I'll mention it in the video description. It would be greatly appreciated. Okay, so there it is. And so these, I lined up the arches with the arches on one of them. This one here, I did it opposite, where I just gave it a little bit of a twist. That will go in here. Maybe if I do it a little low. Yeah, I like the bow at the top. Can the bow be on the bunny? It's kind of cute. It's kind of a big bow. Should I do that? I mean, that would be one heck of a big bow. I'd be surprised if the bunny could still hop. I don't know. Or like this. I think like that. But then the bunny could go at the top. Okay, I'm going to try it. This is going to be one decorated bunny. He's going to have a big bunny butt. He's going to have a big bow. Okay, so then this can go a little bit low. So glue definitely here, but in about this shape. Okay, make sure it still opens. Oh yeah. I do have some chocolates up there. goes there. Bunny can go here. Bunny's big bow right here at his, just like a bow tie. It is kind of cute. Okay, let that dry. Then, oh, for the tail. Okay, so I'm going to put lots of glue. There's a big old bunch of glue for his tail. Why did Amazon give me one orange one? I don't know. A little bunny tail. Are those just the cutest? Like for this much, it was like $7 or $8. Why is it so much? I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to let him just sit there for a minute. After the glue starts to dry, I'm going to go and put glue around the outside edges because I did this exact thing on this one and I touched it. All the glue absorbed into the bunny tail and it didn't stick, so I had to add more. Therefore, I will let it sit there for a minute. Once that glue dries, then I'll add a little bit more. Okay, so do I dare try to put the chocolates in? I'll try to keep Bunny flat. Okay, dry tail. Okay, so the inside of it looks like this. Chocolates in there, or wadded up money, just saying. So that is it for today's project. Sweet little bunny. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.